In this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can actually get out of your comfort zone when it comes to posting content. For those who are new here, welcome. My name is Farid, and I'm essentially using this channel to document my life to $100 million. And I started my first business when I was 19 years old, and now I work with multi-million-dollar global brands to help with their ads, and it's super fun. Now, in the last video, one of you guys had a question. Let me just read out the question here. Could you potentially make a video about how to get out of your comfort zone when posting whatever you want without worries of judgment? I would like to know how you get out of your comfort zone and how you make content on a long-term run. Let me give you some context behind this, okay? I've been posting content ever since I was a kid. When I was around 10 years old, my dad would bring out his camcorder to family vacations, and I would take the camcorder and I'll start recording. I would either talk to myself and vlog. Looking back at it, it was a bit cringe, but back then I didn't have any notion of what it meant to be cringe. But over the years, as I started to make content by myself, gaming videos or tutorial videos, I got used to my voice. And I think this process especially is very important because I've built this skill to be able to talk in front of a camera over the years. This is not something that I was born with. Trust me, I am an introvert and I would rather not speak if I didn't have to speak. That's the kind of person I am. I like to keep to myself, and I'm generally on the quieter side of things. And that might not come across to you in these videos that I make, but that's genuinely true. The way my mindset is around making videos is that I imagine I'm talking to my younger self through the camera. And I think that's a very important mindset shift because for me, over the years, people have asked me for help and asked me for advice, and it's important for you to just get yourself used to talking in front of a camera and imagining that you're talking to the younger version of yourself across the camera, or someone that you really need to help or want to help. Because at the end of the day, that's true. When you're talking to the camera, like right now, I'm just talking to a camera. You are a human being is watching this from the other side of the world. You know what I mean? So that's in my mind. Like if I was talking to an actual human being, that's how I would talk to the camera. And you have to build this muscle to be able to talk in front of a camera for long enough that eventually you'd just be able to talk to yourself. Content creators are very good at talking to themselves. And to the outside eye, it might look like you're a weirdo. In actuality, you might be talking to a few thousand people at a time, which if you think about it, that's pretty powerful. And I think not only is that initial stage of getting over yourself very important, but I also want to emphasize the fact that a lot of people might actually need your help. I just started posting content and putting my face online, but I didn't realize how much of an impact that would actually give to people. People are discovering who I am and they're starting to learn more about me, and they're starting to realize, hey, this guy's kind of cool, let me just subscribe. And sometimes in life, you just need to take that leap of faith moment and just post that first video. It's okay if you post the first video in public and then you delete it. I've done that a couple times, not gonna lie. What's important is you keep that forward momentum of posting content on a regular basis. It doesn't have to post content to the public. You can just post content for yourself. Get good at talking in front of a camera to the point where you can speak fluently and you don't have to stutter. You don't need the best setup. Just take your iPhone and talk in front of it. That's how simple it is nowadays. To be honest, you have a limited time of doing this because AI is going to come for your lunch. With the advent of AI generated video and AI generated images, eventually you wouldn't be able to figure out who's a human and who isn't. And so it's important now, before the storm comes, to establish yourself and your reputation as a human being in the market. And that's what I'm trying to do with my personal brand as well. You might be quite self-conscious when it comes to posting content, and I am. Sometimes I can't be fucked posting content and whatnot, and you don't want that to happen, and you don't want to be too late to miss the train. After you've built the muscle of talking in front of a camera, the next thing that's also a challenge that you will face, and that I have faced, and that everyone who posts content nowadays will face, is looking at the view count. Dude, the view count doesn't matter. Just get good at talking in front of a camera first. You're overcomplicating the process of content creation. In content creation, you're talking into a camera. That is the process of content creation. The process of uploading and posting it online is another process altogether. If I wanted to give out advice, is to just not look at the numbers. When you post that video, move on to the next video idea. And then you post that video idea, and then you move on to the next, and keep going and keep going. MKBHD posted around 70 videos before he got 100 subscribers. And he is now one of the biggest, if not the biggest tech YouTuber on the internet. That's what I'm saying. People start from somewhere, and you have to start. In the last video, I gave an analogy that in an airplane, you have an autopilot. The autopilot is an amazing piece of technology which essentially corrects the flight path millions of times throughout the duration of the flight that makes sure the plane is heading towards its destination. But here's the thing, the autopilot can only work if the plane takes off to begin with. So start with that first upload, start with that first video, and you go from there. And then after that, when you post it, don't worry about how many subscribers you'll get, don't worry about how many likes you'll get, don't worry about how many views you get, because you'll post this for yourself with the idea that I'm going to improve on the skill of content creation, because you need to increase the time horizon in which you are viewing the content game. For me, I'm looking at myself, how am I going to be 5 to 10 years from now if I keep uploading consistently? Probably have 10,000, 100,000, maybe even a million subscribers. But I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to let low views, low subscribers. If a video gets 0 views, 0 likes, and 0 comments, no interaction at all, I'm still going to be posting the next video because I'm going to be learning from my previous video, okay, that didn't work, and I'm going to juxtapose it to the other videos that I have learned, and I'm just going to say, all right, how can I improve the content of my video? How can I improve the hook of my video? How can I improve the editing of my video? How can I improve the title, the thumbnail? But the idea of getting good at content is a long-term play. It's like going to the gym. You don't expect to get jacked after the first day of going to the gym. No, you get jacked over years of consistent and persistent effort while getting progressive overload at the same time. You know what I mean? While you get better, the idea of 1% improvement every day over a long period of time would eventually give you the ability to garner a large audience. It's inevitable. That's how the algorithm works. But you can only get that good by starting to begin with. Do you know what I mean? And so I guess a lot of us can get caught up in the idea that, oh, someone's going to judge me, or, oh, this is going to happen to me. Like, dude, just post that bit of content and just don't get lazy. I'm literally yapping in my car. My neighbors probably think I'm weird. Like, what is this guy doing in his car holding a camera and talking to it? What is he doing? I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm helping people. I'm helping people. That's all that matters to me. Okay. And I guess this video is also for myself, for my future self who will get lazy in the process of content creation. So just get comfortable with yourself. If you're not comfortable in your own skin, you probably won't do well in front of a camera. You'll probably stutter, think your hair looks like shit. To be honest, I don't give a fuck. As long as the content in my video is valuable, I'm gonna post it. You getting comfortable with yourself and developing a sense of self-confidence is the first step in making content. Because at the end of the day, when you start posting content in public, let's say you post it in private for yourself to get consistency and to get a feel of how it feels like making content. Once you start posting in public, you should have a level of self-confidence that would prevent you from deleting that video on the internet ever again. Once the video is out, it's out. I'm not going to delete it. I'm not going to retract it. I'm not going to change anything about what I said. And that will take time to develop, especially if you're not confident in yourself. Being me, I've had experience in talking in front of large crowds and making YouTube videos and being in the content game for a while. Me talking in front of a camera like this feels pretty normal because I feel like I'm talking to a friend. You know what I mean? And so it's all in your mind, really. Content creation, like to be really good at it, it's really easy. You just have to show up and the platform will reward you accordingly. You just have to show up and you have to get better. Every video, just make sure every video is just 1% better. Whether it be your hooks better, you sound better, you stutter less. Over time, you build the muscle, you get really good at talking in front of a camera, and then eventually you build an audience. You have to be yourself. For me right now, I'm talking to you like I would talk to a friend. So you have to be yourself. You can't be inauthentic in this day and age. Unless you're Mr. Beast and you're going for mass market audience, I feel like if you were to be yourself, that would be the best way forward when it comes to building a personal brand, because you are going to be yourself for the entirety of your life. Whereas if you were to put up a fake front in front of people, eventually they're going to find out. I don't want that to happen. I want to be true to myself all the way until the day I die. This is how I decide to come across in my videos. If you want to succeed in the content game, you have to be consistent. You have to just focus on yourself and talk to the camera like you would talk to a friend. Imagine someone across the camera from you, like you're trying to help them. And for me, I feel like I'm trying to help the person who's asking the question. So that's the way I'm going to come across. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to keep doing that for the rest of my life, talking in front of a camera, helping other people, because it gives me satisfaction and it makes me feel fulfilled. So that's how I would go about figuring out the content game. It's getting a bit dark here, but I hope this helped.